Hey, 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 hey!
Good afternoon, good evening, good night, or good morning, depending on where in the world you guys are watching this show and not listening to that fan.
That's right. Today on That Balloon Show, we're taking a trip back in time to the age of to the age of dinosaurs.
That's right, Dom. We're working with Prima's brand new dinosaur balloons, including the Brachiosaurus, the Stegosaurus, and the incredible T-Rex Prima Pal with movable arms and legs.
And we'll be using them to create fun, easy to make, and highly sellable designs that are perfect for parties, gifts, and displays.
But before that,
there's this. Welcome!
Hello, hello. Have you missed us over this last 2 weeks? We have missed you guys.
Of course they have, and of course we have.
Obviously, as well as that, everybody marked a very special event that happened at the weekend. I'm sure that everybody in Balloonland was celebrating, just like I was, when Newcastle won the Carabao Cup. That's right, my football team, for the first time in 70 years, won a domestic trophy.
That's soccer for the US audience, yes.
Yes, absolutely. So, yes, fantastic, very excited, and well done up the tune.
He's only just got his voice back.
Black and White Army. I did lose my voice for, a couple of days. So
it's a win-win for
we're
us.
back. Hello to Yesenia, and nice to join us in the chat. If you do have any questions during tonight's show, please put them in the chat, and we'll do our best to ask them.
It's at the side.
Yes, sometimes.
Is it that side? That side.
That side.
You tell us in the chat. Is it this way?
No,
yes,
it's not. It's that side. It's that side.
Okay.
Or down below. It depends on what kind of device you're watching on.
This is true.
Yeah. So what we're going to do tonight, Dom?
We are going to be making some very cool dino stuff where you're going to go through into the... Now, if we have time...
I am also going to take a cup of tea.
Yes, we have our tea today. Yay, cheers, people.
Cheers.
If we have time, and if anybody out there wants to see it, the item that we made 2 weeks ago, I'm not going to say what the item is, because you should know what it is, because you've seen that episode already, but that item is still in the studio, and we moved it out of the way, as we do, for the next show. And it's still there because it's cool.
And we haven't done anything with it. We just let it, and the aircon's been on every day in here. So you'll see what it's like after 2 weeks.
I will drag it back in. If you see in the chat, bring it back in.
In the what, sorry?
In the chat.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to go through there before he swears on live.
I've never done it yet. Well, technically that wasn't it, but it was close.
Yeah, it was close. It was close.
Sorry, people. It's been a long day. We are almost ready to pack the van because we are off to Cap Expo for the weekend. Starts Sunday until Monday, so it's 2 days, and there's a networking party night as well on the Sunday evening. So if you're in the UK and you haven't signed up already, get yourself over to Cap Expo. Do a Google search for that, it will find it, or via the Bapia website. Lots of different exhibitors, and obviously we'll be there. We'll have Prima, we'll have Balloonia, Premium Comwin, and all that good stuff. So if you want to chat to us about balloons and equipment, we will be there, because we certainly want to speak to you about that.
I'll tell you what, you talk to them just for a moment,
what
Don,
have you
because
found? What have you got?
VMix Social at the moment is...
okay. We want to hear what people are saying over there. And when I reset, it didn't turn it back on. So yes, Cap Expo, we are filling the van to the top with all sorts of different goodies and bits for you to have a bit of a play with, a bit of a look at. We've got equipment for you to try to get hands-on with. We've got some...
Did you switch it back on?
Oh, no, I didn't. That's why you can't see it.
That's why.
Let me do that for you now.
Thank you.
Then you'll be able to see it.
We have this nice big screen where we can see people's chat messages.
You can't have everything, Keith.
Well,
you can't.
I only ask for small things like the chat.
He wants to win the cup.
Because somebody's already asked to see the design from last time.
Oh, have they? Can you see that now?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is...
Is it there?
I'm going to reload
Well,
that
you
page.
refresh it and see if you can see everyone, because I don't want to disappear before we've got
No,
that.
it doesn't seem to be wanting to do that right now.
Let me update it, and then we will...
People in the chat, you talk amongst yourselves for the moment. Well,
I'm sure they will.
this.
Right, I've updated that to the show. I've updated that to the live chat, and I'm going to send that across to see. Is it
This
there?
site can't be reached. There we go. We're back. We're back. Hello from
There was an
Mexico.
update. Hi, Mexico.
We have chat.
Good. Let me
And
have
I'm
a
back
look
in
to
the
see
screen.
where we are over the studio. Right, we're good. We've got it. We've got a chat, and we've got a Keith, and we've got a microphone. Here we go.
Hello, and I want to say that the little screen in the top corner works as well, Dom, so well done you. Suspense for Elena Wolf from Mexico. Hello, Kenneth. We will bring it back if we have time at the end of the show.
I'm going to be a bit longer, Keith, because I realise I've got 2 cups of tea here now.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, you can get yourself back over right now. Right, so tonight we were dealing with Prima balloons, and we want to share with you what we kind of teased out.
Look at that, I'll give you that.
Oh, thank you.
Keep you going. I'm
I
going to
was
bring
just going
my...
to try and do the show shorter so that it would still be warm by the time I get finished.
No, Keith, that is not a possibility.
So we have these fantastic new dinosaur balloons from Prima, and we want to share. We kind of showed you the designs inflated last week, right at the end of the show. And what we're going to do is we're going to have some like really basic designs and go a little bit more, and then have some ideas and talk about it. Hopefully you guys like what you see. If you ask any questions, you want to say anything a little bit different, just say it in the chat and we will do our best for you.
Now that we've made the effort to see the chat, we'd like you to use it.
Yes, use the chat, please. Use the chat, folks.
Use it or it disappears.
Right, okay, so we've got, from the Dino range at the moment, we have the 18-inch foil, and we have 3 different super cute dinosaurs, including the new Prima Pal, which you can see by the packet is a little bit different. So we'll
I
handle
love
that
this
one.
packaging in the fact that it is the same footprint as either the the double screw.
The double screw.
It's not it works within the same ecosystem of the packaging, but it's just got the added depth there as well. Because
Yes, because it's a beauty.
it's got some moving arms and some legs.
It's a beauty.
Can't do the legs here, otherwise it'll just fall over.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah. Push.
Okay. So the first one we're going to do with is we're going to do, actually, we'll just talk it through because it's just a simple version of the 18-inch foil done as a table set or a small gift. Hello, Texas. Nice to see you, Susie.
We've got some countries represented tonight.
Yes, we have. You be very careful again. The yes, we've got the Happy Birthday dinos, which has 2 different textures on there.
We talk about this every time we bring out a Prima
Because
foil.
it's important.
But it is important.
It is
And
important.
it's an absolute win for us because, and it's not just us saying this, people that have used it, customers of ours,
Yep.
and lots of people we've worked with are loving this texture and the fact that this is the white on this particular one is the matte and the printed elements, the dinosaurs, the embellishments and all the rest of it, they have got that shine to it.
Yeah,
the
that
glossy look to it,
gloss.
yeah.
So-
And that really just makes it, again, a word we don't like to use, pop, pop, with
Yeah.
it. But it really does.
Makes the design
Yeah.
pop.
Very, very unisex. Really works both sides of the spectrum for this one. So whichever way you want to go with this one, whether you want to make kind of really feminine it up or kind of go crazy, kind of boyish, it really is up to you.
It works.
You've
You can
got
pick
the
out
options.
whichever colours you want to, whether you're going to pick out the mango from the Stegosaurus, or if you're picking out the pink from the Brachiosaurus, or in this case, the pool party from the Triceratops. Triceratops isn't available yet as a standalone, but I mean, we don't know, but is it a good guess that it might be available?
Maybe it's the points on it that's causing the problem. Like
Well,
maybe
without them,
pop the
it
other
would be
balloons.
pointless.
The it's almost again. I know we've discussed this, but it does seem this way that this balloon was designed with these colours in mind.
No way. It's like the
knew?
balloon was designed by balloon artists.
Wow.
Who knew? But anyway, we have Pool Party here. We have Spearmint on there, which pulls the whole thing together. And it's very simple. We've got 2 layers of 5-inch. We've got a size to 4.5 inch here, and we've got a size to 3 inches. It's about 3.5, somewhere between 3.5 and 3. Doesn't really matter as long as it's consistent across the set of 5, because it is a set of 5. And we've got a little sand weight in there where you can see it done in a different colour, just so that it shows up for the camera. But normally that would be the same colour as the rest of the base.
Yes.
Easy as
all about
that.
the base.
The base. Right, okay,
Yes.
so we
Lovely,
shall put this
super
down.
cute, super simple. And obviously, as always, there's lots of different versions of these types of bases you can do with little simple organic elements and all the rest of it. But we just want to show the sort of the base element, air-filled, very cost-effective, good bang for your buck for us as somebody selling it, but also a great value for a customer.
Oh, and as it's air-filled, it's going to last for ages. The customers are going to love it that way. And with always the seams on Prima foils are amazing. If you've ever seen us test them out to failure, it is amazing, actually,
We certainly did our best to test them.
Yes. So the next one we're going to take on is the pink Brachiosaurus, because there are lots of different colours with those foils. So what we can do is we can bring in a few more of those colours. In this case, we're going to bring in mango, we're going to bring spearmint, we're going to have lilac and snowy day. Yeah, is that
I'm
right?
a little bit hungry now. We've got some foods in
Snow
there.
day.
Yes, snow day.
And what we've done is with this one is we've made it a small pillar or a column or whatever you guys prefer to call it in your own world.
An extended base.
Yes, it's a small pillar, or an extended base, yeah. Whichever.
Whatever your language is, and again, we talk about this so often, but whatever your language is, that works and that's great as long as you can convey that to the customers, but be consistent with that language with your customers. Whether you call it a pillar, whether you call it, extended base, super base, whatever you want, it's just a really good way of adding value to the customer. So it's what we found the best is having a current customer and actually having them repeat and buy more. I'm not saying that again. So you can suggest, something you had previously. You did the super base, you did, the pillar design or whatever it was. But we could do that in this style for you this time. Customer has a reference point then, so it makes it easy for you to sell again and again and again.
Yes, and then we've got, I'll just flip it around the back there so you can see the mango and the spearmint as you go around all the way. And it's just a simple spiral. Of course, we could do this in different style, and we've just done it as a simple garland here, as a 4-balloon garland with a weight on there. Or you could do it as, like something like this one, right?
Really important element on these are when you're attaching the shaped balloons to a top of...
All air filled again.
Yeah, a pillar like this is make sure that you're reducing the size down so it tapers in, so it doesn't just look like it's lost at the top. You'll want this column section to be of some substance, so that's why they're inflated to this size. But if you continue with that, it has no dimension, it's just straight, and then this gets lost in it. It needs to be brought in. Whether you drop down to 5-inch and bring that in, or in this case, we've just used undersized 11-inch because actually the size step works perfectly for this.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So what we could have is this is a normal garland, your 4-garland design.
Now you're thinking, is it a tower? Is it a base?
Yeah, pillar,
We've got them
column. All. But what we could do is we could change it into alternate square pack. So we got from the 12-inch balloon here, which is dark green, the 11-inch balloon here, this is dark green, and then down to a 5-inch. Size between 9 inches on there and 4 inches in between. So it's either 9 inches, or you could do it to 4.5 if you want, but if you want it nice and tight together, 4 inches works really well. So dark green and black, and then again, it's giving you this straight column instead.
Not really much difference in product use here. Obviously, this has got a bit more because it's taller, but
and a bit more 5-inch on there.
Yeah, but there's not much, and for the cost of the latex, it's very indifferent. However, it has a more striking and substantial and dramatic appearance to it as well.
It's also, you're talking more geometry here because it's square.
Yeah.
Because it's got like the diamond point on there as you're looking at it, but it's very rectangular this way, it's very geometric.
Yeah, it's just another dimension that you can use for the style of bases, style of pedestal, that you can create a different feeling, but with the same, I say palette, as in the sizes of balloons that you're using, 11s and 5s. Two very different designs. Colour changes it dramatically, absolutely, but actually the styling of this does it also. So
hi, Shelley.
Hey, Shelley.
Big hugs. Okay, so if we have our alternate square
was
pack
Shelley
on
late
here.
tonight?
Nah, no, we were just early.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was saying, is there a note from my mum?
So what we're going to do is just do 2 layers of these, just so you can see it put together very simply. I'm just going to let's have a look. What have I got in here? I've got some.
Is this a team effort?
5-inch black. Yeah, you can put them together. I'll inflate them.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
I thought I was drinking my tea and you doing that work.
No, no. We're going to use the Premium Common Twin Air Sizer. We're going to inflate it to 9 inches. Now with Prima balloons, it's on our particular machine, it's 3 seconds. And I've got the foot pedal down here, so I'm pull them on and inflate. Round them off, and then twice round with a simple knot over the top.
Lovely.
And then repeat the process.
When you're seeing this particular machine as well, it's less about the machine, it's more about the power supply.
Yes, absolutely.
So if we were to take this machine elsewhere in the UK, it might be slightly different as well.
And pause.
However, UK-wide, our electricity supply is very well synchronised, so it's very, very consistent across the UK.
Pause.
Europe slightly different to us, but again pretty consistent. US, because they're at a 110 voltage, there tends to be a little bit more variety in it. So the tip is really just making sure that when you go somewhere and you move a location, you want to do a little bit of a calibration. Do you need to up your sizes or down your sizes just a little bit to go in sort of with your recipes that you've got?
Okay, so what I've done is I've put the adapters on for 5-inch balloons, and I'm using 5-inch black on here, and I'm fairly sure it actually should be 0.4.
Do you want me to adjust it here for you?
No, I'm good, thanks. And it's a 4-inch balloon.
And we want to address this point because we've had quite a lot of questions about that recently.
Okay.
Our little dot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we need to do it on a separate video
We
because
should,
you can't
yes.
really show it.
It's a hard one because there's that little dot that disappears on here as well. So yes, watch out for that one because that's worth doing.
Yeah, because if you're thinking that you're doing 0.4 and that little dot isn't there, you're actually doing 4 seconds.
You are. And it's a big surprise when you've got 5-inch on there.
Yes. Yeah. So again,
Prima's good, but it's not that good.
plus 4. So what we're going to do simply for this one is I'm going to take a neck. We could do this with Decor Online or whichever you prefer, or a 260. With this one, I'm just going to simply take a neck and just wrap it into that cluster of 4 so that it sits down in our base.
You've done something because you've done this 1.6 million times.
1.7 now.
Okay. When we join bases, and we've talked about this, we want to create that nice tight connection, whether that's neck to neck, Dacron, or where we interconnect them. Normally, Keith would, I would, join that in, and it has a decent amount of tension, and it really creates a lovely, beautiful base. However, when you've added that, you've done that a little bit slacker.
Yes.
Because what you've tried to achieve, and achieved it, is you want equal tension for the spacing of that 5-inch between that 11-inch, because what you don't want is...
You know what? He's not wrong.
You don't want... You really, what you're looking for is if we've got 3 layers to this sandwich, the neck of that 5-inch wants to be in the centre. It doesn't want to be pushing all the way down because you're going to get this inconsistent shaping to the column.
Yes. So, so exactly like that. I didn't push it down as much as I would normally. I did leave the space so that it allows me to bring in the neck from the opposite side and do the same thing. Shelley's saying the dot happened to her and she sent it back to Premium Common. Premium Common? No, Premium Common, because I thought I broke it. No, it's a standard thing, and honestly, it's actually a feature. So it's when you're doing larger balloons. So if you're doing 16-inch or 18-inch or 24-inch, instead of having to press it multiple times, you can make that counter larger so you can do the larger balloons. That's what it's there for. It's meant to happen.
It is.
But
so you didn't break it.
It's not a very well-known feature. If you ever have any problems with your Premium Common, you can come on the show and ask about it. You know, we are the Premium Common representative for the UK. So we have almost all of the equipment here in the UK. So if you do have any questions, come on the show and ask the questions.
We can either send you to a video that's already got the information. We'll happily do a little video and put it up, because if you're asking the question, it means somebody else is probably suffering as well. And just because we are the support for the UK as such, we can share internationally via video.
And Shelley, just so that you don't feel alone, there's 2 other people that have contacted us in the last fortnight that have had the same problem. So it's not a...
I've lost my dot.
Yeah. Right, okay.
So we shipped out Express and dot.
We've taken a neck on there, and I'm just going to wrap that into the 5-inch on the opposite side and pull that in.
Aftermarket dots are available.
Aftermarket dots.
We can make a killing on those.
Yeah, and then we can see that it's going to keep on going, and we can keep on adding. Now, what we would normally do on this, it's much faster if we tie on a piece of Dacron line and we just add it on. Plus, it means that it keeps the tension even.
It's easier to do it that way, yeah. It's easier. And you can do it with
I was just showing off.
a 260 as well. But again, it's easy to keep the consistent tension with the Dacron line.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
you know us, we like the easier way.
It's it's the consistency, but then on the other side
You sell it, Keith.
Yeah,
Easier.
So it's on the, if you use neck to neck or if you use a 260, as these slowly shrink down, the tension does pull itself back together as well. So they do have the benefits, but it is far easier with the Dacron line. Got dot. Yeah, no, we give her back. Okay.
What's next, Keith?
The simple design of that. What we're going to do is, I think...
He's desperate to go to Rexy.
I know, I'm desperate to go to Rexy.
Hold.
I know.
Hold.
I'm going to have to hold because we don't have I don't have a foil inflator here.
I can get one.
I think you're going to have to.
I'll get one.
Yeah, you get a foil inflator. And what I'll do is, while we do that, I'm going to make a tree for all of our dinosaurs to live under.
I walked out the way and then walked directly from the camera.
You did that. You did that so well, honestly.
I'll also
nobody noticed. Nobody noticed.
I'll try to be quiet as I rustle away looking for this particular inflator.
Yeah. So we've got this is a IKEA nut lamp stand because it's a lightweight, possibly sold as a gift, never to be seen again. And what we've done is we've used 3 different colours of brown from the Prima range. We've got espresso, we have cafe, and we have caramel on there. So we've got those 3 different colours of brown on there. And we've started with 11-inch down here, and then we end up on the 5-inch. Now the colours, we have 7-inch at the bottom, 2 layers. Then we have 3 layers size to 6 inches, which are obviously 11-inch balloons, size to 6 inches. Then we have 3 layers of 5-inch size to 5 inches, 3 layers of 5-inch size to 4 inches, and then at the top we have 4 layers of 5-inch size to 3 inches. So all we're going to do at the top is we're going to finish it off, and for that I'll put that down here so that it's easier to see. We have some 260s, so some Prima 260s. Just going to bring these over here and hopefully not stand down a hole. Thanks, Dom.
It's because it was packed for Cap Expo.
It was. So we have 3 different colours of green as well, 3 different shades of green. We've got the bright one, which is obviously chartreuse. Yes. Was that? No, that's lime green. That's chartreuse. Yeah. Chartreuse.
Look at me. No
lime
chartreuse.
Green and dark green. And we've got 3 different colours. And what we're going to do is we're going to tie them together into pairs. Now, I know that I'm missing one. I think it's a dark green. So I'll just take there. 260s also come in completely plastic-free packaging. You can see them in there.
Fancy.
And they are, of course, nozzle up. Really easy to pack and use. So I'm going to take this. I'm still going to use my twin air sizer.
With the dot.
I'll use this side one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the timer down to 0. Because this is the twin air sizer 2. If I take it down to 0, it means now my pedal works on an on-demand action. So as long as I'm pressing down the pedal, it keeps inflating as we go. As you can hear. So it means I can easily control the inflation of the 260 all the way to the end.
You can. Alternatively as well, if you're doing a lot of on-demand inflation as well as size inflation, the twin sizer 2 has 2 foot pedal sockets. This one is on timer function, which is then allowed Keith to put it to 0.0 and put it down to manual. But if you plug it in the other side or plug the second pedal in the other side, you can have one pedal for digital size and the other one for manual. And as we've talked about before, we had that set up, but we put them in 2 different places, one on the floor and one on our workbench. But it depends if you're mobile, depends if you've got a permanent setup, what works best for you. But the ability to go to 0.0, leaving the pedal on the digital input, is fantastic. Saves you having to switch it over.
While you're talking, tie these together, will you would?
Tied together.
So
I'm going to take one balloon and tie it to another balloon.
Yeah, you
okay,
are.
And then I'm going to take another balloon and tie it to another balloon. And then...
Dom's saying this because many years ago, like we're talking 20 years ago,
Hence the dinosaurs.
22 years ago, we got a
Oh,
DVD.
look at that. See quite things in the chat that say you don't look at chaps. Oh, thanks, people. We appreciate the comments. No, nothing. It's not happening.
No, nothing. we took a class, and it was Ken Stillman's class on superheroes, and he did a DVD. He's a fantastic instructor.
Ken Stillman or Keith Stirman, you decide. That was. I've never seen such a bunch of disappointed people when you
in Germany. I went to a Twister convention to teach Decor class.
Side story of a side story.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, if you ever see us, ask about the Ken Stillman and find out why that I'm somebody else's father. Right, okay. So we'll just twist all that together.
We're going to fuse them together. Here we go.
Okay, and then we can simply take another piece of 260 and we can just tie them onto the top and have a spiky base. Or what we can do is we can make some shape into it. So if we wanted to have some sort of crazy shape, we just put some bends into these and then let them go out, and then it means that it just creates some energy.
You can also do, I'm going to twist one.
Yeah.
Do that, just a little twist in it, and then bring it in like a loop, so you can create different sort of shapes out of it as well.
Or just a straight
loop.
Yeah.
And do that, and again, let's add that one in so I can actually bend it. And then, didn't get it enough.
Do a little bubble. If you find that as well, you can either tie the end, or if you make a little bubble of air, you can see that to the side, what you can do is you can take that through and twist that in.
It's a nice way of adding it to be full and filling the little gaps here as well. But we can take that whole one and put a little bend in it as well. It just creates a little bit of shape and energy to everything.
Let's do that. So we'll just do the bubbles, and then we're just going to twist them into the centre.
When you do the bubble as well, if you just squeeze a little bit of pressure underneath where you're doing the bubble so it doesn't disappear on you. Because we don't want to be sending out spare bubbles as well as dots.
Got bubbles?
Good. You can see how now the same amount of balloons, because it's doubled over, is really making it fuller.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do all the same as well. You can have a mixture of kind of crazies and loops. It really just depends on what style you want to go for. I got one more. I've got two more.
Two more.
Got it.
This is definitely the last one that I inflated because it's super full compared to others. Okay.
Lovely.
There
And
we
I
go.
think the nice rounded shape on this looks good because of the style of design, as in the characters that are here. Whereas if you wanted something a bit more kind of harsh
or
and
longer.
Yes, exactly. And then we just attach that onto the top. I'm going to bring that round. We're going to use one of the necks to lock that in. It's on. You could do with another tying on that one really, but that'll get us away from where we are.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And then it gives us our palm tree that our dinosaurs can sit underneath. So we'll just put that over to one side as well. And then it means that now that we have our premium balloon accessories or premium Comwin Foil Pro, I want to make sure that it has the high pressure
correct nozzle on.
foil inflation.
I don't know if it'll show on camera very well, this one.
Woohoo.
This one is just a tube. Now, I've definitely had in the past where someone's opened this one and gone, or is this broken? Because they're kind of expecting like an electronic, a digital
like this
socket
one.
plug.
Like,
yeah, exactly. So
like
that.
this type of thing.
This one is effectively a little bellow.
inside.
It's got some air in it. As you squeeze it, it blows some air here. This is a pressure activated switch on the Foil Pro. So all you do is just push on that tube there, and then the little.
Yeah.
So
Or,
what's cool is,
you know, if it's really warm,
it doesn't matter where you press this, upside down.
there it's like air conditioning.
Yeah. Very, very similar to air conditioning, just cheaper and not as effective.
You just keep going. Keep going. Right, okay. So we'll put that onto there. Okay, so
Doesn't work now.
now what we're going to do is we've made sure, because they have, all of these have on the nozzles themselves, it tells you what it's for. This one, it actually tells you it's for foil inflation. So we make sure that we have our foil inflation one on there. We're going to take out Rexy.
There must be something wrong with the chat now because there was no sea of comments saying we don't look a day over 27.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, so we're going to take our T-Rex and...
Oh, no!
His arms have fallen off.
What happened
because
there?
these come separately. Now, on here, they actually have little inserts. There's like a little plastic insert for where the legs are and where the arms are. So you could technically put the arms on the legs and the legs on the arms. But for this, we're not going to.
Why have we not tried that?
I don't know.
Because T-Rex has massive arms.
Yeah.
Now he can finally reach his piano.
Yes. This one has a spare arm.
Well,
I was thinking I've got two right
you
arms.
get three for the price of two.
I've got two right arms and no left, but it doesn't. No,
It's definitely
there's a
an arm,
spare
right?
arm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an arm.
Okay.
Just checking.
Okay, so on the plastic on here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take hold of it, and it's like a upside down top hat. So it has a flat part and then the piece that goes inside. So I'm just going to hold on to that, and I'm going to just push in the arm.
Well,
And
that
then,
looks really complicated and you need specialist tools.
well, no, I'm just that good at making it look easy.
Okay.
So I'm going to do the same thing for the leg, making sure that I get the right side.
But where's all the valves?
Well, you don't need it because it's
So you
self-inflates.
just leave the one inflated and just hangs on the
Well,
side?
you will see. It's like magic, but different. We're going to put on the right arm, and then we're going to put on the right leg. And I don't mean correct, I mean the right one.
Correct.
But it is the correct one. Okay, and
There
then
he is.
he's done. Now he has one valve area
What?
for inflation.
One valve for 5
Just
balloons?
one. I know, it's crazy, right?
Amazing.
It's a mackerel.
You want to keep
Which is the
that connected,
closest
though,
thing.
otherwise it
Yeah, I
won't
didn't
work.
spin it around because I put it on the wrong way.
What?
I know. So that goes onto there like this. This goes onto here like this.
Lovely.
And then making sure that valve opens there nicely. If not, I'll just run my fingers across the valve.
Flat on the table or pointing downwards if you're doing it kind of in the air.
Yeah.
You do that, I'll do this. You want me?
He's a big fella. I wonder if you can still hear me when I shout. I don't know. So you can see there the body and the head's inflating, but the arms and the legs are not yet.
You can hear it. You can
Look,
hear.
it's like magic.
Wow. Very cool.
I'm not going crazy with it, but there we go. Now we've nicknamed him Colin, the T-Rex.
It looks like a column.
He looks, yeah, and then he can say hello. Hello, everybody.
Look at him. He's cool.
But he does inflate with helium, and he will float. But he is actually needs a bit more air on that one. He's not quite fully inflated.
The cool thing with the connected valve design is that as this balloon goes down a little bit,
Yes.
the balance of the air or helium will be across the chambers.
Yes.
So it's not like where if this was a separate part, because when you've got a small element like that, even with the valve in there, the potential is you lose a little bit and it looks terrible very quickly. Whereas you lose a little bit from the whole overall dinosaur, it'll be balanced out across the different elements. So he's going to look better for longer as well. I mean, he's what, 50,000 years old now? I don't actually
Million. You could gone.
No, I was doing the Jurassic Park redo. Anyway, maybe I'm not so hot on my dinosaur ages, but I do understand my balloon version.
And if we turn him sideways like this, you can see that he has arms and legs, and he just stand himself off the table because of the fact that we've got his tail and his feet there. But you can move them around so that he can sit down if you
However,
want to.
tomorrow though, if he don't have legs on his arms, I'll be disappointed. But you can just have a bit of fun and change it. And as an interactive item, he's cool.
He is, yeah. You can do the can.
He's the can't.
Because he can.
Look at that.
But
Love that.
it's absolutely super. He is absolutely fantastic.
Colin's our favourite. We've got Colin too over there.
We have. This is our original Colin, who's been sat around in the. He's been sat around in the office now for several weeks, and he's still going strong. Haven't really done anything with him. He's just been there.
He's been everywhere.
Well, he's had a few photos.
He's been long in the office. He's been in people's chairs. He's been in the trolley. He's been in the lift a few times.
Yes. So what we'll do is we're going to do a little bit with this design and Colin, but we're going to do it for a third birthday. So what we could really do with is something like a gold number 3.
Well, that's definitely the better way to go, because if I did a gold number 2, that would really disappoint me.
It would be for us. It would be a surprise third birthday if you use a number 2.
I've got this W. Will that work?
E, I don't know. So we've put a little bit of 260 work on here, just very simply 2 bands and a row of precision bubbles. And then we've got a piece of 260 on here that we can use to pull into the design. And then...
What else we got?
Well, we would normally, in this one, we're not going to tie him in today because we need to get on, but it does have a connector piece on the bottom of here. So what we can do is we can tie it into here so that it makes us our giant number 3. So it's like
a number 3 dino design.
Yeah. So if it's on here and we move his arm around a bit,
Look at that.
so it's like he's holding the number 3.
Would it be possible to do this design as a number 2 though?
No, that's crazy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we've got one last thing that we're going to add onto that.
Yes.
Because dinos like to roar.
They do. Oh.
So we have in this, Prima have just recently launched their range of 16-inch air-inflated letters.
I thought it was arm.
No.
For dinosaur. Okay.
You needed more.
Ah, okay.
So with this one, you get in every pack like this. You actually get 2 pieces in the pack, but the price it's about the same as buying a single one with other manufacturers. So it means you get 2 in the pack, and they are valved. And of course, the Prima as well. So the Prima foil is a fantastic quality. So they will do you well.
So yeah, so we've got the letters there. So what we can do is we can get this added on and send a photo up or something.
Yeah, we'll get it all done, and then we'll send up a photo on our socials. So keep an eye out on our Facebook and also on our Instagram, and we'll add some photos on there of the design done.
Because this is super sellable, and there's lots of different elements that you can use and reuse to add in. So talking about the extra decor pieces that go, so if you just got a single deliverable, great. If you want to kind of expand that out into being more of a sort of a party and a bit of a package, we've got the mini bases, we've got the tree, we've got all sorts of different parts we can pull from it.
We've also missing one more.
We have,
dinosaur design. We've used the same kind of base in the alternate square pack sideways base, but this time instead of 4, it's 3, and we've used espresso on the bottom, and we've using the lime green on the top, and we've got our Stegosaurus sitting on there. We've added a couple of bit of some simple 260 work from our dopplers. So give me a second and I'll get that chartreuse and show you how we did the bobbly dopplers.
He's cool, but it's really important to make sure he's away from the base a little bit.
Yeah.
Because without his legs, he looks a bit like a snail. So he really needs his legs.
Right, okay, so we have our 260 like this, and it's not fully inflated. What we're going to do is, to get this Doppler effect, is we stretch out right at the tip. What we're trying to do is weaken the latex right here so that when we force the air up to there, it actually wants to stay in that area. So we've weakened that latex, and then I'm going to take a small bit of air, so I'm pinching in here, and then I'm going to just squeeze it down and stretch till it gets to the end, like this, and give that a good squish so that again it stretches it out, and then it means that it will stay.
Do you want this one?
On the end.
No, just on latex. Okay.
Just on latex. And then what I'm going to do as well is that, because it's got a bit of shape to it, I'm going to pinch off this by twisting it, and then put a little bit of movement in there so that, again, it doesn't push that air back into there, but it allows it to go at funny angles.
Really important
so when
point,
there's air moving around, it kind of moves
is
with
the
it.
weakening of that.
Yes.
Because a lot of people have done these and we've seen it and they say, oh, they never stay in. And that's the tip that you need to do.
Hey!
And you can make it do it, but it won't stay very well. So that's really important.
Okay, and then the last thing is the woven rows. So we're going to quickly go through the woven rows, and then if you want to watch this back on slow motion, if you want to see the technique, you can. We inflate almost fully, we're just leaving a little bit so that I can tie it together.
I almost fell over.
And then I'm pulling it out so I can turn it into 2 loops. And we're going to do it 3 times. So it's kind of like a smaller version of the tree.
Rinse and repeat on the techniques. Makes it easier.
Yeah, and then we push that into the middle of there. So it becomes a 6-petal flower. So we could use this as a 6-petal flower. If you don't want to go to the added technique of adding in the extra parts, you could just keep it and have it as a 6-petal flower itself, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, we're going to turn this into a woven rose. So what I do is I keep 3 loops together like this. And then what I do is the back one I push through, and the front one I push back. So and then switch them over, so it just goes like this. And then I turn it into the next and do the same thing. Now, if you want to learn how to do this, just practice it quite a few times, but watch this back at slow motion, and you can see that I'm just doing exactly the same technique. I have one at the back, one in the middle, and one at the front, and I switch the positions. And once we've gone all the way around, we have our woven rows. If we want to do something different with it, instead of being a rounded side, we can do some points on here by just pulling that up and just giving that a little bit of a shock twist. So I'm just taking it and then just giving that a little twist.
The balloon with a little twist.
Yeah. So instead of the rounded like this, it now has, can you see it? This is a rounded one, and then this is the pointed one. So it's just going up to there, and then give that a twist. And then, because of the Stegosaurus, which we're going to add in another colour, because across the top of the Stegosaurus is a kind of a bluey purple.
Yes.
And what we have is stormy skies on this 1 in 5 inch.
Nice.
And I'm just going to give that a small, because we're going to make that into a centre. So I'm just going to squeeze the air down so it stretches the top of the latex to get that consistent colour. Twist it off.
The long neck on the Prima 5 inch is going to be quite helpful for connections on these ones as well, because it kind of 2 birds with 1 stone, right?
Yes, absolutely. A smarty point pants, you're absolutely right. The woven roses look great, but they are so easy to do. Yeah, people see these and get a little bit scared by them, but don't. They're dead easy to do.
As well,
3 260s, right?
Some people have done this, but kind of get put off by it because they weren't 100% successful. And I tend to find, personally, when talking to these people, is they start to do it and get a bit lost, and then really try to persevere to do it because they so want to do it. Just stop, undo it, and go again.
Yeah.
Because actually, if you get a bit lost in it, you want to do the reset and do what the technique is, where it's just you're just rotating it round and doing the same thing on each set of petals.
Like Dom said, especially with the Prima 5-inch, they've got a super long neck. So what this allows us to do is put that 5-inch in the center of our flower. So we've got the color. So we pull in the Stegosaurus, as it has the color here. It has the mango for the main part of the body, but the crest across the top is stormy skies. So I'm just going to pull that up there, wrap it around one of my 260s.
Just locks that in.
And then I have this long neck here. I'm just going to put it above my head so you can see the distance, so that I can tie it into the design, whether I grab another neck from inside and pull it, or whether I just wrap this in. It doesn't matter.
Or have a pair of them go together. Loads of options, as always.
And then it gives us our woven rose with stormy skies, which fits in perfectly with that design.
It does, and you can play around with the loop sizes on that as well. That was a 260 to create 2 loops, but you can do the same thing. So that was 3 balloons creating 6 loops. You could do 6 balloons creating 6 bigger loops.
Which is about twice the size as well.
Or you can do a sort of, when we've done it before, where we've wanted to taper them a bit, is actually a full balloon, but only inflated to about 3/4, but that is 1 loop instead of 2 loops.
Yes.
Play around with it. All you need, though, is the 6 loops consistently sized.
Absolutely.
That's the important part.
But I think that is because...
We've got 30 seconds, Keith. We can do this. Come on, we've said it.
Well, we did say it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to clear it off here so that you can see it a bit better.
We say these things, and they asked for it. They said yes.
They did. You asked for it because the design that we did on the last episode was using Balloonia, and it was using the Decor links. And we made one of our signature Lincoln balloon arch. So we have left it actually here for the 2 weeks.
So technically it's longer than 2 weeks because it was made before the show.
Yes, it was. It was made 2 days before the show, I think it was. So if I pick this up from this side,
I'm going to hold it
any
with one balloon,
shine.
by the way. I'm holding this on my side with one of the Decor links. So I'm going to come into the shot so you can see.
You've gone too far, I think.
I know, I'm doing it on purpose.
Okay.
So this is how I'm holding it, and that's how much strength and structure this still has.
I'm just going to put that in. So if you did not see this 2 weeks ago, you can go back and watch the episode. But this has been sat here in the studio for the last 2 weeks. And you can see it's got that nice velvety effect on there as the balloon started to oxidize. But there's been absolutely no shine product put on.
We've got air conditioning units all across here, which is what it's been in front of. And they're on all day. It's on all the time. So it's as harsh a office environment as you're going to get.
2 weeks and it's still standing. We haven't changed a single balloon, so it's been fantastic. And just remember, though, it is that important thing that we said on the last episode, which is make sure your knots are nice and tight.
Yes.
And it will stand.
Absolutely.
So, with that, we're going to say thank you very much. We shall get these designs photographed and put them on our social media, so either on Instagram or onto Facebook as well. And we shall see you in 2 weeks' time. Or if you are going to Cap Expo down in Birmingham this coming weekend, we shall see you there.
Please come and see us.
We're on stand B1.
We are. We have got some cool, fun things going on as well, and you have to be in it to win it. So please come and see us.
And we've also got an area. It's it's actually a hands-on area, so it's where you can come and you can play with the products and ask the questions.
Ask any questions you had with machines you never used before, machines you have used but want to know a bit more about. We're there for that.
Okay.
But other than that, we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Ciao for now.
Bye-bye.